Okay, I have the wonderful Teresa Lopez with me, and I wanted to go over our entire experience with Shoptalk because I attended, and it is a presence like we have never made at any event. And I just wanted to show, I had a bunch of people asking me there whether a booth was worth it, whether all this stuff was worth it that we did. And I just want to share all of the information around what we spent money on, what we did to prepare, and what we did afterwards, and let people make their own decisions. So Teresa tells me our total expense was just shy of 250K. 8 days later, we've already closed 41,000 contract ARR, which I think is great because it's only 8 days later, and that's only leads from the booth. All the leads from the other stuff we did are still trickling in. So we had 116 scans, Teresa. Tell me about the scans and why it wasn't like 500 or 1,000.
I mean, it's pretty easy math when you think about it. We had a really strong focus of quality over quantity, right? So we wanted to make sure that any lead that we got was a pre-qualified lead and that we spent time really understanding what the customer needs were before scanning. So I'm sure plenty of booths got 600 with in-booth hospitality, games, and other gimmicks. But these 116, we're hoping to convert about 30 to 40% of them, which gives us a ton of ROI and removes a lot of that back end work of trying to figure out who is this lead, is it a quality lead, should we be following up, etc. So I think it's worth it.
Amazing. And we got a 20 by 20 booth, got a lot of compliments on it. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, I loved it, obviously.
Do you think we should go bigger or smaller next year or just do the same thing?
No, I think that's the right size in the world of e-com. You don't need to do anything bigger. We've got a software as a service. We have a solution. Let the people talk about what we do and why we do it so well. We don't really need to showcase anything else.
And we spent $81,000 on that, and we also got 30 one-on-one meetings. What's the feedback on those one-on-ones?
So far, the feedback has been pretty positive. I think there's probably a little work that we can do working together with ShopTalk and our friends there on trying to fine tune the quality of those one-to-one meetings. But so far, everyone who experienced it said it was a really great opportunity. And I think we had 4 meetings booked right on site from those one-to-ones.
That's great. So the total cost of the ground under the booth and the meetings was 81K. And then we rented that booth from Skyline Studios because we only own a 10 by 10. And that required how many meetings approximately? Like 4 or 5 with them or something?
Yeah, Skyline's a really great partner for us. And so, spent some time talking about what's the vibe that we wanted to represent, what was that mood and experience that we wanted to share with our prospects and our customers. So it really only took about 3 to 4 meetings to really get us to the look and feel that we were driving towards.
And where did you land on that? I mean, everybody, for those who weren't there, we had bean bags. We had, maybe I can show a little picture of the booth or whatever. We had this beautiful sign up top. It was kind of a brick wall. Like, what were the words that sort of were agreed on to get that vibe?
Well, I think, it's pretty easy. If anybody who knows anybody at retention.com just knows that we're a cool company. We have a great vibe. We want to be relaxed, approachable, fun, and friendly. We didn't want to look like other booths, right? And what we wanted to do was create a really comfortable space that anyone could just sit down and relax and want to spend extra time with us. And so I think the beanbags really showcased that. Some of the neon lighting that we used really showcased and highlighted that. I'm actually really proud of the way the look and feel came and how that ultra casual approach really made people want to spend time with us.
And it was really cool that they slapped the female founder sticker on the ground when Diana wasn't
Right.
there, and she just like came back and discovered it. She was
I
like really
know.
proud of it. I love that.
That was really cool, actually. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed seeing that.
So 81K for the space in the meeting, 70K for the booth. So now we're at like 130. And then how many people did we bring?
We brought 13 people total, and that was a mix of executive leadership, account executives, our partnerships team, and then myself representing the
Right.
events team.
Cracking the whip. And the total cost there was 75. So now we're a little over 200 with the people, the booth, the creation of the booth, the meetings, and the space. And then we did like 8 other small events, which I had never been a part of. And this is really interesting. So there was, I'll just rattle them off. And these were between $5,000 and $10,000 each, right?
Yeah.
So we did a private dinner with Yotpo with agency partners. We did a happy hour with We Make Websites, big Shopify Plus agency. We
Hmm.
sponsored a cabana with We Make Websites. I actually had a follow-up call with him. He's a super cool dude, the founder. We were the unofficial sponsor of the Accenture Stables, formerly BBA party. We co-sponsored Racetrack Day with Retention.com and Parker. We partnered with Triple Whale to do a dinner at the Nomad Library, and then Megan and Laz were doing lunches and dinners every day with all of their partners. Does any one of those events strike you as a standout?
I mean, credit to the partnerships team and, Kyle and the work that he's doing, as well as Megan and Laz to pull all of those events together in such a short amount of time. The one that for me, I think is a standout probably is going to be that race day because that's the,
Mm-hmm.
the one that people really, uh, you had people wanting to be put on the wait list for that, begging to be a part of
Right.
it. Very cool, very unique. I think the second one to that probably would have been the cabana. I mean, there was a moment in time where I thought there were more people in the cabana than actually on the show floor, and that's just a
Right.
credit to partners like We Make Websites.
Yeah. 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 Cool. So, do you think that that's like the right amount for us to sponsor next year?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
In fairness, I think it was maybe a little bit much at times just because we
Yeah.
were in all directions. But this is what we want to do right now. That's part of our strategy. Our strategy is to flood the market. So for this year, it made a ton of sense. Let's see how
Yeah.
it looks next year and either focus on higher caliber or still flooding the market. Time will tell where we're at and what we need to do.
Yeah. And then, so that gets us to the 250 in terms of money spent. Now, there were things that we didn't spend money on that we did to prep, and then there's things we didn't spend money on that we did afterwards. So, know before you go. Can you
Yeah.
just give us, the download? I'll find a way to attach it to this too. But like, what's the download on the know before you go?
Yeah, so the know before you go is it's my favorite thing to do before an event because it's really your Bible. It's your event prep, right? So everything that you need to be successful at the show is in that know before you go. So whether it's the booth schedule or your logistics information, it has talking points. It links to, I mean, we go down to the nitty gritty, right down to like where's the nearest hospital in case of an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is in that document. And then there's a really nice TLDR summary at the top. So for those that really just don't want to wade through pages and pages of information, there's a really high level summary just to let you know where you need to be and what you need to do.
Yep. And then we did a prep meeting, which I was on. Give us
Yeah.
a 1 sentence summary of what a prep meeting is all about.
Prep meeting is just a way to get everybody focused and on the same page. It's really easy for everyone to go in with their own spiel and what they need to be thinking about, but we want to make sure that we come in as a unit, we spend our time as a unit, and we leave as a unit. And so the prep meeting, the know before you go, all of that just reinforces that and tightens us up in a way that I think becomes impressive to those that spend time with us.
Cool. And then you spent some time creating a lead distribution process, and that's just sort of like who gets them and how they get distributed and stuff like that.
Yeah, I spent some time figuring that out so that there was no question, and we wanted to do that ahead of time so that we're not spending, sitting on these leads while we're trying to figure it out after the show.
Right. And then the 4 things afterwards, we had a recap meeting. Then
Hmm.
you're working on an executive summary. And
That's right.
then Jordan's working on scripting follow-ups from the lead lists that we have, targeted copy by event. Those are only 3 things. And that's it.
Well, and
So
this,
if
us spending time together.
exactly in this, so I think it's going to be an interesting post because I want to actually attach all of the different little documents to it as well so people can see. But how would you grade our presence at Shoptalk? And
Oh,
by the way, what is this event number 4 since you've been here or 3?
give or take, yeah, yeah, just
Yeah.
about.
So
Um, You know what?
It's probably event number 15 since I've been here, and I think I have a different grade in my head. Like I give it an A plus plus, but my sense is like you kind of have this thing where you're like, well, we can do better.
Oh,
Not to put
absolutely.
words in your mouth.
I love that you grade on a curve though. That works really well for me. So, but I would give it like a B plus, right?
Yeah.
So, and in fairness, I'm a really tough critic, and one of the things that I always tell people, especially as we come off of an event, is there's always going to be room for improvement. So you have to be open to receiving that feedback, and so. I will say it was a B plus just because it was a really stellar coming out party for us. And I think that for what we were trying to accomplish, we really did a great job of that. But we've got some really exciting things coming up with the rebrand and with future events, growing our team and understanding our markets and everything. So, the future is bright for us.
All right. Well, I'm excited about doing as many events like Shop Talk as humanly possible. I'm so excited that you were on our team.
Thank you.
And thank you for doing this. I think it's going to be a great piece of media for everybody, for us, for anybody who wants to learn about this stuff, recruits, all that. Thank you.
Thank you.